Okay. So, hello, my name is Chen Ye, and I'm a student at Western Sydney University. Today, I'll talk about student diversity and inclusive education. Well, it's an important topic because the classroom today are becoming more and more diverse. Students come from different backgrounds and they have different learning needs. If teachers do not understand this diversity, some students may feel disengaged from school. Well, in the presentation, I will first explain what the student diversity means. Then I will discuss why some students may feel disengaged. After that, I will talk about inclusive education and the role of teachers. Finally, I will explain the dialogic teaching and share my teaching philosophy. Well, in the presentation, I will talk about two main parts. So in the part A, I will explain the student diversity and why it can lead to disengagement. In part B, I will focus on the solution. So I will explain the inclusive education and the role of teachers as the change agents and the logic teaching. At 8, I will share my teaching philosophy and explain what kind of teacher I want to become. So, um, on the first slide, is about what is the student diversity. So student diversity means that the students are different from each other in many ways. For example, students may have different cultural background, language, and family situation or the learning ability. Some students may also have different social or economic backgrounds. This means that students do not learn in the same way. So each student bring their own experience and knowledge into the classroom, into the class. So because of this, teaching cannot be the one way of everyone. Teachers need to understand this difference and respond to them. So, however, diversity is not only about difference, it's also about how this difference are understood by teachers. Sometimes teachers may see difference as a stress. For example, speaking another language can be valuable skill, but sometimes difference may be seen as a problem. For example, language difficulties may be seen as a weakness. This show that teacher perspective are very important. Uh, the way teachers think about the student can affect how they teach and how the student feel. If teachers are not careful, they may treat the student differently without realizing it. Uh, so if diversity is not supported well, it can lead to the disengagement. First, when the curriculum is not related to student lives, students may feel that learning is not meaningful. As a result, they may lose interest and stop paying attention. Second, teacher expectation is also important. So if teacher expect less from some students, those students may feel less confident. So over time, they may stop trying and become disengaged. So certainly, students may feel disengaged when they feel that they're not understood or respected. So if their culture or identity is not recognized, so they may feel that they do not belong in the classroom. So because of the reason, disengagement is not just about student attitudes, it's often caused by the learning environment and teaching practice. So, so to solve this problem, teacher need to use inclusive education. Inclusive education means that all the students can take part of learning. It's not only about being in classroom, also about active participation. So this means students should feel included, supported, and able to learn. So teachers need to adjust their teaching to meet the different student needs. So for example, they may use different teaching strategies to provide extra support. Inclusive education helps create a fair and supportive environment for all the students and all the learners. So, teachers play a very important role in inclusive education. They're not only teaching the knowledge, but also shaping the student learning experience. So a teacher can influence how the student feel about learning and about the self. So because of this, teacher can be change agent. So this means teacher can help reduce inequality and create more fair learning environment. So they can do this by supporting our students, having high expectation and respecting diversity. So good teacher also continue to learn and reflect on their teaching. This help them to improve and better support their students. So another important way to support the student is dialogic teaching. Dialogic teaching is mean learning through discussion and communication. This is a two-way process where both teachers and the students share the idea. In traditional class, teacher talk, the student and a student listen. But in dialogic class, students are active, the participates. So they ask the question, share their idea, and learn from each other. This helps the students think more deeply and understand the context better. So it also makes learning more interesting and engaging. So student voice is a key part of a dialogic teaching. So students should have opportunity to express their idea and opinions. But more importantly, they should feel that they are heard and respected. If students speak, but no one listens, they will still feel disengaged. However, when the students feel that their ideas are valued, they're more likely to participate. They also become more confident and motivated. So student voice is very important for engagement and learning. So as a future teacher, I want to create an inclusive and supported classroom. I believe that all the students should feel valued and respected, no matter their background or language or culture. So I will try to understand my student diversity and respond to their different needs. I will also use the dialogic teaching to encourage communication and participation. So my goal is to help the student feel confident and engaged in learning. I want to be a teacher who supports all learners and help them success. So in the conclusion, student diversity is an important part of education. It is not support it is not supported, it can lead to the disengagement. However, inclusive education and dialogic teaching can help improve engagement. Teachers play an important role in creating positive learning environment. By understanding diversity and supporting all students, teacher can make a difference. So thank you for listening.